the second part of our Fantastic Four story of Marvel Rivals. First off was Johnny Storm, and this is Mr. Fantastic's story. And this is the story of Marvel Rivals. So we've seen Mr. Fantastic in his trailer for this season building some type of device. This believing to be the Trudy device, which you may be aware of if you've watched the story of Marvel Rivals, my full breakdown so far. You can check that out in the description. But I'll go on to explain that later in this video. So let's start off with reading through Mr. Fantastic's lore, and then we'll discuss on who else he's interacted with. So starting off, Mr. Fantastic's cellular elasticity allows him to stretch his body beyond all physical limits, but now he'll have to stretch his mind further than ever to build a time stream reintegration device and end this cross-dimensional crisis. So the time stream reintegration device is actually nicknamed as Trudy, and it's been seen as Trudy in different other pieces of lore. So let's get on to his main lore and let's read through this. So it says, Dr. Reed Richards, the renowned scientist and adventurer, also known as Mr. Fantastic, stood in his laboratory in Baxter Building, closely examining all small crystals that his best friend, Ben Grimm, had recovered on one of his many excursions into Lower Manhattan. Reed has his own theories about the strange energy stored within the glowing shard, but even the most brilliant man in the universe needed a second opinion every now and then. And Reed knew exactly who should ask for one. The most brilliant woman in any universe, Shuri, the Princess of Wakanda. Not long after, the time stream entanglement erupted across the multiverse, causing realities to collide and collapse. Reed had received an unexpected and urgent message from Wakanda, but it was not from the technologically advanced African nation that Reed and his fellow members of the Fantastic Four had long called their allies. Instead, this message came from a Wakanda located in another dimension, one where King T'Challa had taken his people to the edge of the universe and built a society that spanned the stars. Much like in Reed's own reality, T'Challa's sister Shuri was the driving force behind the intergalactic empire of Wakanda's scientific research, so it came as no surprise that she too had been tirelessly researching for a way to undo the damage caused by the time stream entanglement. Fortunately, she was not too proud to admit that she could not find the solution alone. After her initial communication was received, Reed and Shuri began to compare notes and hypotheses, bringing other trusted allies like Tony Stark into the fold. Eventually, they were able to build the time stream reintegration device that would theoretically be able to restore the damaged realities to their original state. Of course, finding an energy source potent enough to the power of the TRD would be nearly impossible, a topic which has since been the source of much debate between the device's creators. Reed knew deep inside that these crystals, which had come to be known as chronovium by those studying them, were the key. But when he compared the data he had acquired from scanning the shard with recent test results gathered by Shuri, things just weren't adding up. He had to get to the bottom of this while there was still time left. "You wanted to talk, Dr. Richards?" a voice said from the other side of the computer screen. "Ah, Shuri," Reed replied, as the screen lit up to reveal the face of his interdimensional ally. "I'm glad you got my message. As always when the Fantastic Four calls," Shuri said, "Wakanda answers." "Good, because answers are exactly what I'm seeking," Reed said, getting right to the point. "We have both previously summarized that chronovium is a byproduct of the massive fluctuations in energy released by the time stream entanglement, correct?" "Yes," Shuri responded. "In both of our realities, the second law of thermodynamics still holds true. Even chronal power seeks out the lowest energy state to stabilize itself, and these crystals have the lowest internal energy in either of our universes. But that's where the similarities end," Reed said. "According to our data, at the very onset of the time stream entanglement, I had reason to believe that all chronovium across the multiverse shared this same basic structure. But now that our realities have continued to shift in unexpected ways, the properties of the chronovium found within them are shifting as well. The crystals I have recently analysed here in Wakanda are proof of that," Shuri replied. It seems the energy from the vibranium star at the heart of our empire has strengthened our form of chronovium far beyond what we have seen in other samples. Same goes for the chronovium in my dimension, Reed added. The dark magic that is holding New York City in a state of eternal night has permeated the chronovium crystals found here. Tony started calling it blood chronovium. It's a bit dramatic, but I suppose it gets the point across. Indeed, Shuri said, and it makes me wonder how many other forms might be out there, in whatever universes still remain. And that's one of the reasons why I called you, Ree said. If we could begin to catalogue how many other universes, CHRONOVERSES, Shuri interjected. That is what we here in Wakanda are calling our fractured realities created by the time stream entanglement. Of course, Reed continued, if we could catalogue how many other chronoverses there are out there, perhaps we could get a better understanding of the current state of the multiverse, as well as the other types of chronovium that might be at our disposal. I have identified at least one other alternate reality beyond our own, Shuri responded, without hesitation. Recently, Captain America arrived here in Wakanda seeking refuge. Reed paused for a moment as Shuri spoke. The Captain America he had known had fallen in battle not long ago, and the entire world was still reeling from the loss. Logically, Reed was well aware that every reality likely had its own variant of Steve Rogers, but knowing that one was currently residing in Wakanda offered a sense of hope that Reed hadn't felt it in far too long. Unlike the Captain America that both my father and brother proudly fought alongside over the years, this Stephen Rogers claimed that he had been frozen during World War II and had not been reawakened until the year 2099. That's not the first time I've heard that date mentioned, Reed noted. Our Spider-Man told me that he was visited by one of his alternate reality counterparts, a young woman who calls herself Spider-Zero. She claimed to be from the year 2099 as well, and asked for his help to repair a dimensional nexus point known as the Web of Life and Destiny. Fascinating, Shuri said, taking notes as she talked. Based on Captain America's intel, we also believe that this future timeline may be gathering points for mutants whose home realities have ceased to exist. His ally, Wolverine, claimed he resided on a time-displaced island nation called Krakoa. Curious, Reed muttered as he pondered Shuri's words. Our Krakoa vanished without a trace when the time stream entanglement hit us. Could the living island in that chronoverse be one and the same? I will see if the captain or his allies can coerce Wolverine into sharing any further information, Shuri said. Allies? Reed asked. Steve brought along friends? Not quite, Shuri said. My own chronoverse has been facing a number of its own challenges of late, including a growing darkness that is spreading rapidly across the star systems. I had initially sent the Guardians of the Galaxy to investigate its origin point on a distant planet called Clintar, but I have lost contact with them. In order to prepare for whatever may be coming our way, T'Challa and I asked Stephen to gather some trusted allies from across the time and space, including a few from your own timeline, Hawkeye and the Winter Soldier. Interesting, Reed said. Tony had told me that they both went missing after an incident at a remote Hydra base. He'll be glad they made it out alive. I certainly was, Shuri responded. I believe they will prove to be valuable allies in the days ahead. I fear this darkness is already tainting Wakanda. Even the gods themselves are not safe from its corruptive influence. Speaking of gods, Reed said as Shuri's word trailed off, the Asgard of my timeline have become something entirely new. Their wall tree, Yggdrasil, has grown and merged with the Golden Realm to create Yggdrasil, and according to reports, Loki is already trying to take advantage of the situation. No surprise there, Shuri said. But the Asgardians aren't the only Pathian in disarray. Reed continued. Stephen Strange recently returned from a trip through the astral plane, where he says he communicated with heroes from yet another dimension, one where powerful deities were locked in an endless war for omnipotent power and total control. So that gives us at least 4 chronoverses then, Shuri said, examining her notes. That I've identified thus far, yes, Reed replied, and as they continue to collapse and intertwine, I have a feeling that we'll start to become ever more dependent upon each other for survival. With so few timelines left, Shuri said, we cannot risk losing any of them. This is exactly what my brother chose to pay a visit to your world. I hope this provides useful in your efforts. T'Challa came here, Reed said, clearly puzzled. When? He left Wakanda a week ago, Shuri said, her usual calm and collected expression suddenly giving way to one of deep concern. I calibrated our cross-dimensional teleports myself. I'm certain he arrived safely in New York of your reality. Arrived safely perhaps, Reed said, dismayed, but anything could have happened after that. Our city isn't exactly as safe as it used to be. After all, the curse that locked us in a permanent nocturnal state allowed certain factions that had formerly been relegated to the shadows the opportunity to seize power. Vampires, Shuri said, fully aware of the problem. T'Challa had hoped to offer you a sample of our own heart-shaped herb as a means of developing a cure to this plague. But if he has fallen victim to it, then... Don't worry, Your Majesty, Reed responded. Like you said, we're in this together, and when Wakanda calls, the Fantastic Four answers too. I just pray to the Orisha that we are not too late, Shuri said solemnly, for all of our sakes. So what have we learned from this piece of lore? We know that Shuri, Iron Man, and Reed Richards are all communicating, which we already previously know. We got confirmation from this that it was Shuri and T'Challa that asked Steve Rogers to bring Winter Soldier and Hawkeye to the Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda. We know that Black Panther has arrived into this current universe of where the Fantastic Four and Iron Man are. But where is he? What's happened to him? Well, I'll be covering what happened to him in a whole separate season 1 video. So if you want to see that, please click that subscribe button. But where else do we know that Reed Richards has been helping? Well, we know that Reed Richards has actually been helping out Cloak and Dagger because they had an issue with not being able to get Dagger out into the form. It was just Cloak. It was just Dagger in the one form, and they couldn't get Cloak out. So he was trying to, help them be able to go from one person to the other. We know that Squirrel Girl actually came to Mr. Fantastic to ask for help when the whole situation in New York happened, and the Squirrel God from Asgard came down. Squirrel Girl actually came to Mr. Fantastic to see what he could do. So what is he building? So what we see is the Trudy device. I believe that's being built, and from this I believe it means they can travel through one universe to the other. So it's interdimensional travel, and I guess that's so they can go to different universes to try and help and stop what's going on. And that is located in the Baxter building. So it'll be interesting to see how else this fits into the story and where it goes from here. One thing to note is that a device like this is also seen in Secret Wars, the Marvel comic, which Reed Richards plays a big part of it against Doctor Doom. Reed Richards builds this type of cross-dimensional, cross-universe device so they can get around. So yeah, just keep that in mind. They may try and link the story to the Secret Wars comic as well, especially with everything going on with the Doctor Doom films and Secret Wars. I know they said they'd keep it separate, but you never know. So guys, if you did enjoy this video, please leave a like, please leave a comment, please hit that subscribe button. Let me know if I've missed anything, or if there's any lore information that you'd like to add to this video. Like I said, I'm going to make a full season 1 video, like I've already done a season 0 video. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button, please leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.